Hi everyone, welcome back to Pommy and Oz, and we're here again with another pre-season clash. We're in the first of the official pre-season games. This time we head on over to the GMHBA to discuss Geelong versus Essendon, in a game that gave us a lot to talk about and a real lot to digest. Essendon walked away with the win, and while the scoreboard will show that they won by 3 or 4 goals, 21 points, there's a lot more to unpack. The Bombers were exceptionally clinical though, their young guns standing up. We saw a new transitional game. We saw them really flood the wings, which was a real joy to watch. Their efficiency though was off the charts. Absolutely sensational. When you kick that many goals, when you kick 17 goals too, you are going to win 90% of the games. They were really solid. They came out the blocks really strong, getting out to a 15-point lead. They were pegged back though in the second. This will give Geelong a little bit of hope. Despite the loss, they did have their chances, presenting 4 more scoring shots and were really, really efficient in that second term. They were really strong. 6 goals won, and they made chances at ease. And this was kind of towards the end of the game as well. They did make chances. There was a real kind of flux. And I'd imagine in the real game, and I'm not taking anything away from Essendon, they were splendid. When the intensity is a little bit up and a little bit harder, this should be something that we really take notice of from Essendon. But I would imagine that Geelong will definitely be a little bit more chaotic in the middle and a little bit more rigid, but a lot more efficient going forward. They were very shallow at times. It was very lazy, particularly in the fourth where the game kind of died down. That's where in-game I would expect Geelong to go up the motions. But if Essendon can match this, they will come out of this game with so much hope that this was modern day, it was on brand, it was exciting. They controlled the game very well. They pushed the players outside. I thought the combination of Jones, Martin and Shield was absolutely spectacular to watch down that left-hand side. So a lot to take out, and Essendon will be very happy about this, but Geelong will be happy as well. They saw a lot, and when you add Bailey Smith to this side, suddenly I think you'll see the entries be a lot more sharper and clinical. Essendon put on a nearly faultless display, kicking a ridiculous 17 goals too, for 104, playing Geelong's 12-11-83. Right from the opening bounce, the intensity was there from Essendon. They were hard at the ball, they were quick, they were fast, they were looking to do damage, particularly off transition. I thought Jones and Shield worked incredibly well, and that got Kako and Nic Caddy in the game. Them leads were really good from Nic Caddy. We've hyped him up all pre-season. He looked near faultless in his display. And Isaac Kako just proving that small forwards can start day one. He was sensational and electric. Nic Martin's two-way running combined with Harry Jones, his two-way running and his height gave them constant outlets and constant ability to transition, and starters swinging in on the ball again found a lot of ball and really pushed them out wide. Dylan Shield I thought looked solid, and I'm really impressed with his development as a footballer and really excited to see what the future may hold in the latter stages of his career. He was a constant tennis down there and defended pretty staply. Geelong, though, I think had a lot to take out from it. I thought Mitch Nevitt's role was really strong in this game, and Jeremy Cameron was finding a lot of the ball up high half forward and really being a nuisance throughout. Jack Bowes and Max Holmes, Zach Guthrie, they look good. And Tom Atkins, I really liked what he did in and around the ball, being a real grit. Mark Blitzarbs was just the plug-and-play player, as we always expect. He was really lively. So in the end, Geelong did have their chances, and if they were a little bit more potent and prudent, they could have put this game away. Essendon maintained their dominance, though, throughout this game and looked super strong. And they'll go into the season and feel really good about it. Now, let's get into them 5 major takeaways of this game. Number 1 is Isaac Kako is born to be a star. We absolutely hyped this guy up in the draft series, and as soon as he steps on the field of play, these 2 games have really shown Kako is the man. You know what? When we talk about footballers, I always think we get way too invested in the exceptional they do. When you look at Isaac Kako, like any great sportsman, their basics are brilliant. His willingness to chase. There was many times he peeled off his man and chased down a halfback, put the pressure on, forced the turnover. his willingness to win the hard ball, his willingness to chase down tackle, his willingness to dummy lead, and mainly stay front and centre and back yourself in and respect your role and not go ball watching, not go ball hunting. He ended the game with 4 goals, 6 score involvements, 9 pressure acts, 5 ground ball gets. And even in the dying moments, this guy was looking to impact. He was still working hard and was unlucky. I think it was touch when Sam Draper dribbled it through, but to be in the right position, to be at the right time, to free yourself up on the overlap just shows how hard he works. Relentless pressure and a relentless work rate. So this guy here is a star in every sense of the word. I can't wait to give him some more hype and I can't wait to see him in season, because what this game showed is he's not going to kick 4 goals all the time, but he is going to be proactive, and you've got to be busy in this game in the small forwards, and Kako is that modern day small forward. Number 2 was Miers. If you're an opposition coach, he is definitely someone that you focus on. We know he's an impact player. He doesn't need a lot of the ball to damage you, and that high half forward role really suits him. Now, we talk about practice games and we're saying what you're looking for. I'm looking for execution and seeing if there's anything obvious you're working on. And one thing I can take out from Geelong is this guy's going to get a lot of stoppage minutes, and it really did sense they threw him in on the ball, and this was a plan to get him used to that as much as possible. Ended the game with 30 touches, 8 score involvements, 507 metres gained, 13 pressure acts. He really got a lot more ball than you expected. And I really did think when I looked at this, I was like, okay, if he had 30 touches, we're talking in a Kako game. I thought he showed so much more than that. His distribution was really good. The way that he worked with Tommy Aitkins, he worked with Jack Bowes, who was sensational himself with 31 touches, I thought was a real delight. He really is that plug and play. He looked to be direct. And the 8 score involvements, no one will talk about. Everyone will focus on the goal output and all that malarkey, that nonsense. But he did back 1 goal in. But I did think his score involvements, the handing the chains, was really good. This is a problem in season because him and Bailey Smith playing at that high half forward are going to be a problem when they're spurting through the midfield as well around stoppage. So this was really promising for me. I really like this. I don't think I'll see as many high up the ground moments from him, and I don't think I'll ever see him have a 30-touch game again. But he's dangerous. He's dangerous, so watch out in the near future. Number 3 is the Cats had their chances. This is a prime example of what we say. Bad kicking is bad football. 17-2, near perfect accuracy, playing under 50%, 12 goals, 11. And they had more scoring shots, and at times it felt very shallow. It felt, even though they managed to win midfield ball, that it was kicks to nothing, and it felt very laconic, particularly in the second half after the second quarter. And I'm not taking anything away from Essendon. They were near faultless. They'll go out of this game with their heads held high and show they bloody well should. But for Cats fans, don't panic. I feel like in-game intensity will be lifted, which will stop some of that easy ball that Essendon had, and it will create more chances organically from the overlap as you force the turnover in the midfield. But they need to be more clinical. When Jeremy Cameron's having 23 touches and working with 11 marks up the ground, the forward structure at times was a little bit meh, to be honest. And the pressure coming around the ball, getting Stengel more invested, I thought they did create chances. And we saw this against Hawthorn as well. They were very wasteful at times. So this is something that's definitely an area of concern. But once that gets right, Geelong are a team that do it on the night. Watch out. Geelong will be a danger. And the Nic Martin, Harrison Jones, Dylan Shield combination. Mwah. Nic Martin finished this game with 22 touches, 356 metres gained, 6 score involvements, and 77% disposal efficiency. His two-way running is a real highlight, and for me, he is cementing himself as one of the best genuine wingers in the competition. He's attacking defense, his attacking coverage is amazing, but his defensive zonal system is really strong. He really understands that, and from them years at playing at halfback for Essendon, he's really showcased that awareness. He gets himself in the right places at the right time, and what I love about Nic Martin at this game was him really focusing on backing his man to win the ball. Many a time he backed his man and went forward and played really, really high up the ground as well. Harrison Jones slotting in. He was really strong in this game and really showcasing why you need a big winger, in my opinion, in this game. 27 touches, 12 marks, 377 metres gained. and a constant nuisance with 2 tackles throughout. He was a real pressure magnet as well, Harrison Jones, and it allows Shield to be a little bit protected defensively, who I think is looking solid. 26 disposals, 4 intercepts, 2 tackles, 4 score involvements, 383 metres gained. He's really growing into this role as well. That side, when you're kicking it into Nick, it's Shield, Jones, and Nic Martin, is deadly in every sense of the word. And suddenly, when you've got them real lateral runs that Nate Caddy does, you've got a feast. You've got a feast. And it's a real modern day transition, bang, bang, bang type approach. And I really like this duopoly they've got there. Martin, Jones, working in it. It protects Shield in the right moments, but then it can go into another gear and be super attacking. Real standout performances there. And it's nice to talk about them because at times they gave limited time to quite a few players as well, Essendon. They really did shift it. So this is going to be a really interesting one, I think, to watch as the season goes on. Will Setterfield, he slid into the midfield. I thought McGrath was really strong as well. So Sam Durham as well, stepping up as well and being another nuisance on the other wing. They've got something real special here in transition. And if they can just lock down that forward pressure and be a little bit smarter with the ball, they're not always going to have games where it's 17-2. But I think they're in a real strong place. And I really did like what I saw from Essendon. Really impressive. And it seems weird. My complaint with Essendon is they play archaic football. They've really branched out. And it looks really exciting. And finally, is Nate Caddy. We gave him an absolute G up in the pre-season. He's one of our selections for the Rising Star. And he backed it up again. 3 goals, 5 pressure acts, 3 marks, won both of his one-on-one duels, and only plays 60% time. His link-up play with Gresham, with Kako, with Perkins was a real highlight of this. The way he moves between the lines, the knowledge that Nic Martin and Isaac Kako have already got where he leads up the ground, they get into that space behind, was really good to see. And seeing Langfield and him work together was really nice. When you watch Kyle Langford, for me, one of the more underrated players in the league, and how he leads deep into the goal square, and then you see Nate Caddy lead up to half forward, and then you see the smalls. One gets with Caddy, and then they try and make outlets in the other pockets. It was really good to see, and it creates all this space. When you've got one leading to the pocket, one leading to the goal square, there's that nice little hole of uncertainty in the middle of inside 50, which they targeted. And it was really interesting. Peter Wright came on later. He played that deep role. But for now, it will be Langford and Caddy as the starting keys, with Sam Draper looking lean. He looks in real good nick, sliding forward. And I thought he was really impressive as well. Was that kind of third tall. It gives them options, real options. And Nick Bryan held his own. I found 318 metres gained, 14 hitouts as well. He was really strong and a real nuisance. He's a real body which allows Merritt to get there. And this is a real good ruck combination, I find. So, real good hope for Essendon. Although a pre-season game, I know everyone's going to say Essendon Premiers, Geelong are cooked. I thought both sides will have learnt a lot. So, they're the 5 big takeaways. Is Kako a round 0 lock? Can Nic Martin become the winger, the best winger in the league? How good will that combination be as well? Shield, Martin and Jones. Can Jones keep that up? Geelong, is there anything to worry? I don't think, but can they fix that forward 50 entry? Can Miers be that POD in stoppage with Bailey Smith? That looks really aggressive. And how will Ollie Henry and Jeremy Cameron work together? Felt like Ollie Henry was down this week. Cameron worked incredibly well up the ground. Still feels like they lack a natural tall. Ollie Dempsey, I thought, provided a lot of width as well for them. So there is good hope there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Join me tonight for the watch along with Richmond and Collingwood. Can't wait to have some fun. Call the action real time with you guys and girls and chill out. Like and subscribe. We're working really hard on the content. So do me a solid. Turn that notification bell on. I assure you, you don't want to miss a video. See you tonight. Peace, love and light. Pom out.
Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it